All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of The Sportsmen. That is Joey Coldcuts. I'm the Big Ticket. And we're here again every Wednesday now. We're Wednesday guys. So
We're hump day guys.
Hump day guys. That's who we are.
Hopefully, one would say we're enough just to kind of guide you through the middle of the week.
That's true. That's true.
If
We
you,
are.
for the few listeners that actually do listen.
We are the Lighthouse. We're just guiding you into shore, into the end of this week. We're guiding you in. We're waving you in. We're waving you. Come on in.
We're a lighthouse in a remote town where there's very few people. There's the odd sailor comes through.
Sure.
We got on in. I'd love to change it. I'd love to get a lot of people listening.
It's not much, but it's honest work. It's honest work.
Number 10 over the last couple of weeks. So I feel like it's growing a little bit, no?
I don't check them anymore. I mean, I let Anderson. Mr. Anderson does it. I mean, I don't. I mean, I assume he'll let us know if big things are coming. But
I know we have over 500 followers on Instagram now,
which is fantastic.
I mean, listen,
it's a start.
We didn't even have a page, so I mean, at the very least, we have something that people can go and watch.
And the young man fires on that page too. I mean, he just whips up content.
Mr. Anderson is something else. I gotta say, this guy was a God-given. He was a gift from God. This 383 subscribers on YouTube. That's not bad.
No, it's right in line with 400 faithful. Although we get a lot more people just aren't subscribing. I know it's somewhere in the
people to subscribe. Listen, I think what we should start doing. What do you think too? We'd start doing a Q&A section, but only if you comment and you subscribe. We'll take your questions.
I like that a lot. Send your questions
into the channel, into the episodes.
Send your questions via the Instagram page, and Mr. Anderson will vet that, and he will take the questions from the people that are subscribed and follow the Instagram page, and we will feature that on the end of our shows. Now that football is going away, that'll be how we can wrap shit up. But speaking of Mr. Anderson, we have been getting this beautiful little rundown of everything that's going down in sports, because me and you are a couple busy guys. We do our best and we watch as much as we can, but this rundown is nice. Have you looked at it?
I looked through it, and it's very golf heavy, which I love. And I think starting right out of the gates, I mean, we'll go to football in a second because big congratulations are in order. But aside from that, this was a huge week for the boys from a golf perspective. Right. Torrey Pines last week, Saturday final round. We had both of our guys from Bob to Sports, Max Homa, Keegan Bradley, finish 1-2. They put on an absolute show. It was wild, Ticket. I DM'd Homa the night before. And I didn't realize that they were finishing on the Saturday. I thought that the last round was on Sunday. So it's just like, oh, knock them dead this weekend. You're gonna have a big weekend. And he says, thanks. And then he goes on the next day and wins. I had no idea. And now I'm watching. I'm like, dude, he's going to win this fucking thing. Sure enough, he came through. And Keegan Bradley was also exceptional. His caddy, Scotty Vale, was wearing the Have a Day hat, which was great. We had the camera angles on that. Just a huge, huge win for Bob to Sports for this Farmers Insurance Open, with those guys just putting on a light show.
Yeah, big day, no doubt about that. But this Max Homa, man, he is in a groove of all grooves right now. This guy, and when you watch him too, it's like it's everything's so consistent. Everything. There's no part of his game that needs to pick up another side of his game that's failing him at the moment. Everything from the putting to the chipping to his irons in the middle of the fairway, off the tee, fairway woods. Everything is going smooth for the young man. And you got to say, what did he do that everyone else hasn't done outside of Keegan Bradley, who finished in second? It came on Bob Does Sports. So let that be a lesson out there. You want to get better at golf outside of Joey Coldcuts? Come on the show.
That's an easy task. Very easy. Speaking of another golf situation, this time not so good. Did you see the whole Patrick Reed, Rory McIlroy T-Gate thing that they were showing?
Yeah.
Do you think that was just totally blown out of proportion? Do you think that merited like some kind of response? I thought it was blown up.
It was. Did you see the video? Did you see? He didn't even fucking come close to hitting him. He didn't even come close to hitting him.
It was like 2 feet short of him.
But also, it's just like these are the antics that happen. I mean, those guys don't like each other, so it wasn't probably being goofy. But still, these meaningless little things happen all the time. And in the world we live in now, there's just a million fucking cameras, and everyone's got their phones out, so everything's getting captured. If you think no other golfers ever flipped the tee at somebody, you're sorely mistaken. And on top of that, though, I totally get Rory. Like, first of all, Patrick Reed, when he was still with the PGA, everyone fucking hated him. The fans, the
Total
players.
bitch.
He's a total bitch. He's a total bitch. And so he probably didn't want to talk to him because number one, he just doesn't like the guy because no one does. And number two, he's like, you fucking left for LIV. I don't have anything to say to you. And that's basically what went down. And then, I guess he got a little ticked off, flipped the tee. And, I have a better shot at hitting a 40-year-old field goal than that guy does of hitting Rory McIlroy with a tee.
Well, accordingly to you, that's really good odds.
Yeah, but like, according to you,
well, according to reality, according to reality,
you don't know what reality is. We haven't seen it.
We do need to do this. We've been saying that you were going to kick this fucking field goal since week 1, episode 1 of the Sportsman, which is like, to me, feels like 17 BC.
Yeah,
feels like
it's true. And hopefully one day, dude, when we were on the Bob Does Sports podcast and we talked about that, the next day after the release of that podcast, I had like 15 kicking coaches in my DMs. Like, you need a guy to help you kick that field goal. I'm your guy.
Well, Hecker is a member of Bob Does Sports. He's part of the movement.
He's a punter, though.
Oh, he's a punter. Don't they have? Do some teams have punters and kickers that share responsibilities, or is it always completely?
Well, like I think Janikowski for the Raiders, I think he did both, and I think a lot of them can. I think you grow up doing both, but then you specialize in the NFL. But there's a few guys that do both. But anyway, wrapping up that whole Patrick Reed thing. I mean, I don't even know why. What did he initially do way back in the day that made everyone hate him? Why is he so unliked?
Well, I don't really know. He had that incident where he was in the bunker and he moved the ball and he cheated. Yeah. And then he's just kind of like that. He's like a gnat. You know what I mean? Like, He's harmless, but he's just annoying as fuck. And nobody can really handle him. You know what I mean? So he's not liked to begin with. And then he gave Rory, his lawyers sent Rory a subpoena to his door on Christmas Eve, indicating that he was suing him. I don't know if it's defamation of character or some co-conspiracy to try to shut down. Like, this guy is nuts. He's nuts. So, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, like, let's be honest, the tee was nowhere near hitting Rory.
Yeah, no, not even close. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But moving on to another golf subject, this is my favorite story of the week, is that LIV Golf signed a huge TV deal with the CW network. You like that channel?
What channel is I don't even know what CW network is.
Yeah, you like that channel, don't you? One Tree Hill, The Flash, every cheesy fucking show that's ever been made goes on the CW, and now LIV Golf. That is where LIV Golf lives. And it's are you pounding a White Claw? Is that what you're doing?
Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Fantastic sports drink. But it's like the CW. That is such a strange move. It's owned by WB, so it's a Warner Brothers product. Just strange.
I can't tell you the last time I even tuned into that network. I had to do a double take. I was like, what do they even show? I had no idea.
They show, I told you, like One Tree Hill, like the shittiest TV shows of, or remember that show like 15 years ago, Greek Life or whatever? It was like that show is on there. It's like ABC Family, but Warner Brothers version. It stinks. Are you going to be watching? Do you think you'll tune into some of these events?
No.
You're not going to watch any of them.
I don't have time to watch LIV Golf. I barely have time to watch PGA. And that being said, I thoroughly enjoy watching the PGA, especially if it's a final. No, I ain't watching LIV Golf. I saw they had like some deals with like Singapore, Finland, and something else. And I've seen snippets of like the scoreboard. It looks terrible. It looks really bad the whole way that they did it. Maybe they'll change it around. I don't know. But Greg Norman's just trying to figure something out. I don't know. I can't imagine LIV Golf is going to be successful for the next 5 years.
I mean, they threw out a fuckload of money, man. It's like, And it's interesting.
I'm
It's
just
very
saying, like,
interesting.
I think it's going to lose any allure. I don't even think it's got a ton of allure to begin with right now. Like, if Liv was coming to town, would you like jump the gun to be like, I got to go watch the Liv tour?
No, no, I mean, they
No.
have a lot of interesting players. They got DJ, they got Brooks, they got a lot of guys that I
Cam
would be
Smith
interested.
was a big addition.
Cam Smith, big fan of his. Just fun player to watch. But I'm nah, I don't think I'm going. I don't think I'm going to any event.
Good for them, though. We're happy for them.
Now, if they want to pay me to go, I'll go to every single one. I'll go to every one.
Live
Um,
Golf, the official new sponsor of the Sportsmen.
I gotta tell you, I love this sport, man. They're taking golf to the next
You
level.
want to talk about innovation and changing the game of golf? You want to talk Live. Let's talk right here, right now on the Sportsman. Live Golf, if you're listening, our pockets are open. By the
Uh,
way, I got to, before we go to football, I think footballs are a major topic because it's just, we got to talk about it. Big trade in the Canucks organization yesterday. Did you see this?
no, I'm totally tuned out on hockey right now.
Well,
What's
I know you are,
is
but
the
like this
team
team.
is the team good right now? Are you guys good or
Oh no, we are
dog
not.
shit as always?
I mean, not dog. I mean, it's just so big trade. The Islanders got our captain, Bo Horvat, putting up an unbelievable year this year. Could score 40 plus goals. I think he's had in 49 games, he's tied his career high with 31 goals already. So he's having a hell of a season, but he's a free agent at the end of the year. And honestly, he's going to be getting paid a fortune, which we can't afford. So they traded him for Beauvillier, which I think is a great player. And also they got some trade and another player too. Who's the other guy? Obviously, he's not that good. I mean, but
As a
yeah, we got
Canucks
first.
fan, you're excited about that though?
Well, we
Like
got
that's
a first round pick, and we got Beauvillier, which is a good player. So I mean, like we got something for Horvat instead of having him walk and not get anything. And I think that's what this team needs to build on the future. I mean, they fired the coach Bruce Boudreau well, I don't know 2-3 weeks ago.
oh
This is the
no.
kind of stuff that I like. No, but it's good. They got to focus on regrouping. They got to
Remember
their
how
goal.
excited we were last year when they hired him and like they won what like the first
I
13
think we
games
were
or something?
singing Bruce. There it is. Yeah,
Yeah, first there it is.
Bruce. There it was because he's come and gone.
And less than
Uh,
a year later, I mean, you're excited he's gone.
it's sad, man. It just shows it's really hard to build a championship winning team, and it might take a decade sometimes. You need to get the right players and the right coach and the right nucleus. Which, speaking of, there is a nucleus of young men who really, really look poised to hoist another Super Bowl. And that is the young men wearing the green in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Those Philadelphia Eagles ticket, you
Yeah.
are in the Super Bowl, man.
It's pretty
That
exciting, man.
feel
Pretty
good.
exciting. It feels great.
I messaged ticket on Sunday. Said, "How does it feel?" And all I got is unfucking believable. Like this is the guy who's feeling it.
I was
Like
speechless, man. It was I mean, you hate to win like that. I will say, I mean, we had their fucking defense on the ropes the whole game. So our offense looked great, but this team had no quarterback. I mean, Brock Purdy got what? He got hurt like in the second play of the game or something. And
how hurt was he? Like here's the thing. I know, oh, he can't throw the ball, this and that. This is a kid who literally everything has fallen into place for him. Like to the point where he could be the starting quarterback for the team next year. I have to think like even if your elbow is throbbing, you got to go out there at least one series and try to make a couple throws. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But like the fact that he got hit for that strip sack from that, what was his name, Reddick, which by the way, that guy played
Hassan
unbelievable.
Reddick, he's
That guy
incredible.
played. That guy could have been the player of the game.
Yeah.
And he comes off, and I got slack from this from Perez in the group chat saying he can't throw, but it's like, come on, dog. Like, go out there at least one series. Try to make a throw downfield. If you legitimately can't throw a 20-yard pass downfield, then so be it. tell the coach, take me out. But like, this is the NFC Championship. You're 23 years old. You might never get a chance to be in this spotlight again. I thought after watching Mahomes grit it out on one leg last week with a high ankle sprain, and just to me, that was the epitome of a guy who wanted to win. And then watching Brock Purdy say, I can't go, I can't throw, and didn't even make an attempt. It was a little bit like, come on, dude. This gets soft. I could be totally out of line for saying that. Oh, your thoughts?
I mean, you got to imagine he was thrown on the sideline and he probably couldn't throw more than five yards. So he just thought he'd be a liability, but no one was a bigger liability than the guy who came in for him,
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson. That guy stinks. That guy.
By the way, you would think like after all the guys that they've had get knocked out, like you had Trey Lance, he left. Then you had Garoppolo, he left. Then you have Purdy. Maybe you bring in a guy to be a fourth stringer in the event that this young kid gets smoked and is out of the game. And turns out, even Jermaine.
Yeah, where's Josh McCown? Get him off a couch and get him in some pads, man. Have him ready to go.
Where's Baker Mayfield?
Oh, he's with the Rams.
Yeah, that's true. He might actually have himself a starting gig. But yeah, no, I thought the Eagles, I think you're right. They were the better team. Even if Purdy played, you could see it early and often. That defense ticket, they are coming for blood.
They're coming for that ass.
Yeah, and they're waxing that ass. I tell you, they look good from start to finish. I never felt there was a time where it's like, oh, this team can't win. There was a time where the offense got stagnant for a little while. But as soon as they started running the ball, like truly running the ball and committing to the run, it was over. It was game over. And I like what your coach is doing. He's kind of got that running back by committee going on. So you got Sanders going in there. Half the time they go out of the shotgun, so you could have a QB draw with Hurts and he can run. And then you got Gainwell who looked great. And Boston Scott's like a little bowling ball. He looks good too. I tell you what, this team is stacked from start to finish. I loved what I saw out of the Eagles. You got to be thrilled.
I'm beyond thrilled. I mean, I'm the only thing that makes me nervous is that we've played two tune-up teams, and we're about to play the best team that we've seen in weeks. But I'm thrilled. I'm just saying that's one. We've been playing Appalachian State while the Chiefs have been playing, Michigan. Number one ranked Michigan.
Mahomes is hurt. Mahomes is definitely not 100%.
True. I mean, he started the game yesterday or 2 days ago, and he looked pretty good, right? But then it started. Something happened, and he was hobbling like he was the week before. I don't know what happened.
Ankle sprain, Tick. I mean, that'll do it. That's an injury that normally takes between 2 and 4 weeks to get over, and he was on 8 days of rest. I mean,
now he has 2 weeks. I mean, what do you think?
I think he's going to be close. I don't think he's going to be 100%. By the way, you want to talk about a bang job? The Cincinnati Bengals, they got banged by the officiating in that game from start to finish. It was pretty bad to watch. And I thank God I had no stakes in the game. I had no bets. That game looked awful. They gave the Chiefs a 5th down. In like basically they gave him an extra down, and then on after third down they called a penalty for defensive holding and gave him another first down. It was bad. There was a lot of bad calls in that game.
What did you think of the end one, the unnecessary roughness? That was a foul.
Listen, it was a penalty, but here's the thing: is at some point, like when you're calling terrible call after terrible call on a team, and they haven't gotten any breaks. Maybe you don't call that because that call basically solidifies the game. Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely a penalty, so you can't be like, oh, it was not a bad call, but it's like at that point, the calls all seem to go in favor of the Chiefs. So it's like I could totally understand if they didn't throw the flag on that, but kudos to the Chiefs, man. That's a team that game felt like it was getting away from them. Everything to me told me that as that game got later and later in the game that the Bengals were going to drive and win the game.
Yeah.
It felt like it, and that was even with the calls. So, like, I lost my pick of the week again, but I again, I feel like I had my hand on the pulse. I don't think the Bengals was a bad pick. I don't know. It's going to be a great Super Bowl.
I've been
The
hot with
first
my
time
picks, by the way. I've been
your
pretty
picks have
hot.
been up. I told you you'd
Yeah.
be posting on Big Ticket on the Instagram. You'd be doing well. You've been crushing it.
And I think I gotta roll with with what got me here. I mean, I think you have an idea of what I'm gonna do for our picks here at the end of the
Well, we don't need
show.
to make a pick this week because the Super Bowl is not for 2 weeks. So I think what we do here is we hold off this week, and then for next week's episode, once we know all the details and the lines are more closely connected, I think that's a better time to give the pick.
I agree. So that's what we'll do. But do you know what the line is right now?
I don't. I'm not sure. I
It's
would
the
assume the
yeah,
Eagles are favored.
yeah, by 1.5. So pretty tight,
Yeah, it's almost an even game.
pretty much.
How
Um,
about how about another narrative is the two Kelsey brothers going against each other in the Super Bowl?
Two Kelsey brothers going up against each other, and also Andy Reid going up against his longtime old team. That there's a couple storylines here that are interesting to
First
follow.
time ever both quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl are black. That's cool to see.
I didn't hear that one. Is that true?
It's the first time in NFL history both starting quarterbacks on the team on both teams are African, American.
What an interesting stat. I didn't see that one around
That's kind
anywhere.
of cool.
It is. I just, if I was a betting man, I would have said that's happened before. But I guess that makes sense.
I wish that we could find that clip of you last year towards the end of the year saying Jalen Hurts stinks and play it to you now when you're Super Bowl bound. You thought this team was going nowhere and it
Well,
hurt.
to my credit, last year he did stink. I mean, this has to
He
be.
was good until the playoffs.
He was okay. He couldn't throw. He could not throw. He was overthrowing everybody. It was bad. But
Something's changed drastically.
have you ever seen a guy make so much progress from one year to the next? I mean, I've never seen anyone take a leap. Excuse me, the way that he has taken a leap, and he went from, I won't even call him shitty. I'll just say average, maybe he's slightly below, but around average to premier, man. He's a top five guy to me.
You got to be thrilled.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I mean, but have you ever seen anything like that? I mean, you better hope you see
You
something
were
like that
you
because it
were
sounds
going
like
into
you
the
got Jordan Love
season.
next year.
Yeah, let's not talk about Jordan Love. You were going into the season saying maybe Minshew was going to be the guy. I was
True.
like, Tick,
That's true.
this is. I was
That's
like,
true.
this guy, this Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. And now, even I didn't think he would be this good. Like, he has made strides, man. He is a franchise quarterback to the point where if he wins a Super Bowl for you this year, he could easily win you guys another one in the next 5 years. Easily.
Got to keep the pieces together. I mean, one thing is we will be losing Jason Kelsey, and that's going to
Yeah,
be
but
a massive. I mean, he's been our guy for like 20 years
he's
now.
he's unbelievable, man. He's so good. What really changed the whole dynamic of the offense is bringing AJ Brown in, and it just proves my point again. Being a Packers fan that is so disappointed year in and year out, this fucking team refusing to go out in free agency and bring in another premier guy. That's exactly what you guys did this last year. You guys were aggressive. You made moves at the trade deadline at the prior to the draft. You went all in. You got AJ Brown.
It's
You
true.
made picks, and it shows, man. And it's so obvious that like without that guy this year, I don't think you're where you are right
Right. No, I agree. I mean, we give our GM Howie Roseman a lot of shit, but this last year he stepped it the fuck up and made a shitload of great acquisitions and we used to give him a lot of shit for drafting Jalen Hurts because we were like, what the fuck do we need another quarterback for at that time? Now it's turned out to be the fucking savior. I mean, saved us. We wouldn't be here without Jalen Hurts, but I agree with you. I think AJ Brown is probably the biggest piece of them all because it just totally changed the way defenses have to play us now. You have to respect both sides of the field. I mean, we've got dual weapons, man. And then, like you mentioned, our running game is phenomenal. I mean, we're just spreading them thin, man. We're spreading them way too thin.
Do you feel confident going into this that the Eagles will come out victorious?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Now, what are we doing for the Super Bowl? Because we talked about this last week. Now the update is we're leaving Arizona early,
Yeah.
so we're going to be back in LA by the Saturday prior to the Super Bowl. Do we do the Super Bowl at Bob's house and everybody gets together, or are you like not wanting to watch the game with anyone?
I'm getting a Vito's pizza and I'm watching it by myself
Oh,
or with
come
my
on,
girlfriend.
Jake. It's the Super Bowl.
I know, but it's the bird. If it was anyone else, I'd be right there. I'd be right there with you guys. But
I know,
it's,
but don't you want to watch and celebrate with us while you win?
I mean, listen, I'll celebrate with, I'll have 8 friends there, 8 slices of Vito's pizza. Okay. And maybe Caesar
Yes,
salad.
you're still embracing that jolly stage, no? You're just
Yeah, it's the fattest year of my life. I mean, you know what? I have actually like my body felt like such shit. I had to start going to the gym.
Oh, you
And
went back?
yeah, I went a couple times and I'm starting to fall off again, but I got to go back to the gym and my body just felt so bad, man. I will say I've been editing the taco challenge, which is it's coming out on Thursday for Bob Does Sports, a little sneak peek. Taco challenge. The boys eat 50 tacos. When I was editing it, I don't know if I'm conditioned, but like hearing you guys bite into the tacos and hearing that crunch sound, I heard it so many times, like I got to get Taco Bell. So I ordered 3 tacos today. I ordered the chicken quesadilla and
Wow.
a supreme burrito, and I ate it all. And I don't feel good now. I feel like I
Well,
did before I went to the gym.
well, is it chicken quesadilla, supreme burrito? What was the third one?
Three tacos,
Oh, you got 3 tacos.
three supreme, 3 supreme tacos.
Okay. I thought you were saying you had 3 things total. I was like, that's not bad, but now I realize you had 5 items.
No, it was. I was being
Now,
quite
could you imagine how
that's
we
ass.
felt? Imagine eating 15.
50 is that what? Well, let's not give anything away. But yeah, I can't imagine
Well, no, I'm
eating.
saying that was our basically our task. 50 divided by 3 is 15 each with 5 left over. So
True,
it's
15
almost
tacos.
17 each.
I mean, no, I can't, dude. I was
Could
so
you
full.
imagine that?
I wanted to know what the feeling was like, so I ate my 2 tacos first, then I had everything else, and I was so full. I did not need that third taco, nor did I want to eat it.
And
But
imagine playing
I
golf.
wanted to know what it felt like to shove a taco down my face when I was so overly full, to have the idea of what you guys went through.
It's a
And
terrible feeling.
it was uncomfortable. And all I had to do was sit here. I mean, you guys had to play golf.
And
So
not only that, some of those tacos towards the end were like cold. And I got
yeah.
all my tacos supreme.
Yeah, which was a mistake, dog. That was a huge mistake that's on you. Well, since we're not going to do a pick this week, we'll leave that for next week for the Super Bowl. But there is one thing I wanted to run by you. If you've seen any of this slap stuff going on, these slap leagues, the slap
Oh, God.
championship.
Everybody's just trying to make a buck now. Now we got
Well,
domesticated violence on television. It's unbelievable. Did you see the video clip that came out that one guy got knocked out cold
sure
and
did.
his face was rearranged and he won 5 grand.
Yeah, he looks like the Elephant Man. He does not look good. I mean, all in the name of 5 grand and
For
an L.
5,000 bucks. Would you let
Yeah,
one of those guys slap you for 5 G's?
no, not for 5. Not for 5. I would, you know what? I would take
What about for
one.
10?
Nope. I would take one of those slaps for nothing short of
25,000.
probably 35, 40.
Whoa!
I need to
I
really
tell
be
you
able to
what,
upgrade my life.
you give me 25 G's for one of those slaps. I can handle one of those
Did you
slaps.
see that guy's face?
Yeah, but that's a 1 in a million.
10 grand is going to go into fixing your face. So now you're looking at 15 grand.
No, 15 grand. I got face fine. You know, 15,
I
it's
love
tax
it.
season coming up, dude. It's tax season. I got to
Sure
prepare
is.
for the tax man.
I love that their like technique is like, if this is someone's face, they go,
No, and they put it right up against your.
right.
This has got to be the scariest thing in the minute when they go like this and they just like they're getting ready, And
Yeah, it's
do
like
that little
teasing.
up
It's
tap.
playing with your food. It's like teasing. It's like that anticipation leading up to
It's
it
just like that
is
little
almost
love
worse.
tap.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know how this league has caught so much steam. And I'm trying to wonder, like, figure out what makes it so entertaining. Like, why do I like watching it?
It's owned by Dana White, no?
Is it just fun to see people get the shit slapped
I
out of
mean,
them?
I'm not tuning into this. I'm not watching this on a Friday night.
I mean, I'm not tuning in live, but I certainly watch a whole bunch of YouTube
This is a
videos.
fad. It's just like
Yeah,
remember the
probably.
XFL or the what was the lingerie football league for women? Like, this is
Yeah.
a fad. It'll be gone like a fart in the wind in fucking 1 year from now. It'll be gone. Somebody's gonna be hospitalized and they'll get sued and the whole league will collapse.
Yeah. Well, I sure find it entertaining. And if it is around for just a year, what a fucking year it's going to be. All right, man. Well, I think that's all we got for today. Another pretty good one, man. I like that. That was a lot of fun. I like that we sort of diversified. We talked about a few other things, and it bodes well for the future outside of football here on the show. And again, just to reiterate, if you want to subscribe and you want to follow the Instagram, shoot a question to the Instagram, and EA Anderson will sort of vet that and go through all that, and we will start a fan question segment at the end of each show to replace
Yeah.
our sports picks.
Also, I've seen a lot of messages or people saying, "Oh, I never," or people even DMing me saying, "I never knew that this was a podcast and whatever." So great job to Mr. Anderson, just kind of getting us out. But if you enjoy the show and like you tune in regularly, you subscribe, you listen. Like if you have a buddy out there that's looking for a podcast, I mean, you know what? Word of mouth spreads quickly. No tick. Like
Tell a
shout
friend.
us out. Tell them that we got a little fun thing going on here. It's nothing serious. We're not going to take 5 hours out of your life. We're going to shoot the shit. Maybe you have a little fun listening to us on your way to work or whatever it is. Spread the word. Let's grow this thing. I'd love to see this thing grow. We're out there. We're moving. We got Mr. Anderson. We got a regular timeline now. Tick. I
That's
feel
right.
like this is as regimented as we've been in a while.
Sure is. Possibly ever.
I just don't want to upset Mr. Anderson at the end of the day. I don't want to
I
let him
know.
down. The guy's
I
sending
know.
us synopses and syllabuses to study before the show. I mean, this guy, you want to talk about, this guy is the cannon and he's just stuffing us in and firing us out. Like he is the movement.
Yeah, if this show ever gets successful, it'll be in spite of us and because of him. It'll have nothing to do with me and you. It'll have everything to do with Mr. Anderson. But
Oh,
all right, well
that
that
was
is
a fun
another.
one though, man.
Yeah, it was a good one. And that is another episode of The Sportsman. That is Joey Coldcuts over there. I'm the big ticket on this side. And till next week, folks.